I just filmed almost this entire video and then my memory card had an error and deleted all of the footage. I already don't want to film this video, so this sucks. But hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. I need to sit down and have an honest chat with you guys. I have been hiding something from you for the last 4 years and I feel like it is time to come clean. I feel like it's time to just sit down and have a chat with you guys and tell you everything that has been going on in the last 4 years of my life. I have been querying a few different novels for the last 4 years, pursuing publication, doing all the things to try and get an agent, and without much success. And I haven't wanted to talk about it, but here we are. So basically, back when I first started querying, I decided that it was not something that I wanted to share publicly. I have been filming a vlog this entire time that will hopefully see the light of day once I get an agent, but it was my intention to, film a querying vlog, and once I got an agent, I would post a vlog, post a video saying I got an agent, and that would be it. I didn't really want to publicly be querying on my channel because I didn't want to deal with questions. I didn't want to deal with, failure publicly. I did participate in some pitch events on Twitter, and I feel like there's some context clues that if you guys were paying attention, maybe, you would have seen something or, figured it out, but I never physically said, hey, I'm querying my books. But basically, let's go back to 2021. The very beginning of the year, I submitted my novel Reasons Why Not to a mentorship program called Author Mentor Match. It is no longer running, which is unfortunate, but it was a mentorship program where basically, writers would get paired up with authors who either had agents or a book deal or what have you, a book already published, and they would help mentor you in publishing, help you revise your novel. It was a really great program and I'm really grateful to have been a part of it because I submitted in the beginning of 2021 and I did get selected. I felt like in 2021, I felt like that was going to be my year. I felt like, I got into this mentorship program. It felt amazing. It was my first real confidence boost as a writer. It made me feel like I was good enough to be a writer, to be published one day. It made me feel great. I'm not gonna lie, it was a huge confidence boost. I have a whole vlog that I will link down below if you guys want to go back and watch it if you haven't, documenting my whole experience with Author Mentor Match. It was a wonderful experience. I'm so grateful for it, so grateful for the people that I met through that experience. And like I said, it really was my first concrete evidence, my first confidence boost that made me feel like I could do this. And so I felt like I was off to a great start in 2021. I revised my novel for a couple of months, and then on June 3rd, 2021, I started querying my novel, Reasons Why Not to, which, if you guys don't know, that is my YA romance novel that deals a lot with anxiety rep. Very important to me as I deal with anxiety on a day-to-day basis. It was also, my main character was a book lover. She wanted to go to a book festival. It was the book of my heart. I love that book still. It means a lot to me, and it died in the trenches, and I'm really sad about it. It's a heartbreak that is with me to today. It's a really hard project to let go of, and I'm not gonna cry this early on in the video. My goodness, but yeah, I had some success with that book. I did get some partial, some requests on that book, but ultimately, obviously, it went nowhere. And that was really difficult for me. I started my querying journey with PitMad, which was a pitch contest at the time that is also no longer running on Twitter, where, you would tweet out some pitches and agents could like it and request materials. So I did get some success out of that. My first batch of queries mainly was for PitMad and interest from agents that I got through PitMad, and that was my second confidence boost. I was like, oh my god, this is going great. I'm so gonna have an agent by the summer, by my birthday, and I can celebrate with my friends, and it's going to be awesome. And then I'll get a book deal by the end of the year, and I'll be well on my way to being an established author. I truly felt that in my bones. I think that was very naive of me to think that it would go that fast. But I was very optimistic about the whole thing, which is very rare for me. I'm not an overly optimistic person, and I also don't believe in myself all that much. But writing is the one avenue where, while I deal with a lot of self-confidence issues and, feeling not good enough, it has always been one of those things where I'm like, that's going to happen for me. Like, I'm gonna work hard, I'm not gonna give up, and I'm gonna become a published author. Like, I see no other avenue from my life. Like, that's the only path that I see, the only lane that I'm taking. Like, that's how I've always kind of gone through life. I've been a writer since I was like 5 or 6. Like, this has always been the dream, and I always believed that it would happen. So I think I went into this feeling very optimistic and very excited, and running on the high of author mentor match, and then running on the high of the PitMad interest. Like, I was feeling good about myself, and that quickly came to a halting stop. Like, my god, I so quickly fell into a pit of depression from all the rejections that I was getting. Surprisingly, that first rejection that I got, I handled really well, because it felt like a milestone. I was like, okay, I've gotten my first rejection, I'm well on my way now to my yes. And unfortunately that was not the case, but I did take that first rejection quite well. I will never forget, I was in the car with my best friend, we were driving, and I got a notification on my phone, and it was from an agent, my very first agent response, and I opened it, it was a rejection, and I was like, but you know what, I'm okay, because you have to get a rejection at some point, and this was just my first one. Like, this was a rejection that I had to have, like, it was bound to happen. And my friend was so proud of me for taking it so well, and then I proceeded to not take most rejections well. I never really took them too personally. Maybe that's a lie, I don't know. Like, it's hard not to take some things personally, but also most rejections that I got were form rejections, which means they're not personalized in any way. They don't give you any like feedback or anything. Agents are so like overworked and burnt out right now that like they do not have the time to give personalized rejections to every query that they get. So it was just kind of discouraging to not get any feedback on anything. But yeah, I did get some interest in Reasons Why Not To, which felt great. Hurt real bad when they ended up being no's. There's a lot of crying in my querying vlog, if you guys will ever get to see that vlog. A lot of crying, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of drama. But yeah, unfortunately, Reasons Why Not To did die in the trenches, and I'm so heartbroken about it still to this day. But also I know that it's rare for authors to get published with their first book, to get an agent with their first book. And while Reasons Why Not To was not the first book I'd ever written, it was my third book that I had written. It was the first book that I revised to completion to be query ready, the first book that I stuck with for years to get ready, and it was the first book that I was trying to get published with, and that is a rare thing to have happen. So yeah, it was a really hard thing for me to say goodbye to that book and close that chapter of my life, because I believed in that book so strongly. My friends believed in that book so strongly, which I'm still so grateful for. Like, they still talk about it, and oh my god, I love them so much for that, for keeping that book alive, because I loved it so much. I still do, and I would love for it to be published one day. I would love, for it to get a second life. And yeah, but unfortunately it did die in the trenches. But the biggest tip that you will hear while you're querying is to just keep writing, to distract yourself from the rejections, from, checking your email, just work on something new. That way, if your project does fail in the trenches, you have something else to fall back on that you can start querying. And so I took that advice to heart. I really did, and I was working on my novel, The Show Must Go On. I was revising it. I think I was maybe already on the second draft of that book, if I remember correctly, but I continued to revise that book, and I really put my all into that book, and then I started querying that one in 2022. But that one has also pretty much died in the trenches. I still have one full out for it, but honestly, the agent has had that full for the last 2 years, so I'm not feeling too optimistic about that. That book is dead in my head, which is unfortunate, because I also love that book. That is my YA romance. It's fake dating, musical theater, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, I love that book so much, and yeah, that one was another heartbreak, because I felt like it was going to do better. I felt like it was maybe a bit of an easier pitch, and unfortunately it didn't really go anywhere. I did get some interest in it again, but ultimately, like, it's dead. Has one fallout still, but it's dead. You know, I'm not really expecting anything from that project at this point, but that was also really heartbreaking. Querying is still a really hard thing for me to talk about, even after being in the trenches for 4 years. And I think it's hard being in this industry when you do have some like mental illness. Like I have anxiety, I have depression, so things just kind of naturally hit me pretty hard when I'm already suffering so much, like especially while querying Reasons Why Not To. I don't think I was fully prepared for how hard it was going to be, and I don't think there was anything that I could have done to fully prepare myself for that experience and how hard it was going to be and how much hurt I was going to feel. So like querying completely wrecked my mental health. I went on antidepressants in 2021, I think, because I wasn't sleeping well. I, was oversleeping as well. Like I couldn't sleep, like I couldn't fall asleep. Then once I woke up, I didn't want to be awake, so I would go back to bed. And a lot of that is due to me not approaching querying in a healthy way. I always had my notifications turned on. I would wake up in the morning and the first thing I would do would be to check my email. So if I got a request, yay me, happy day, filled with hope and optimism. But most of the time I got a rejection, and so I would start my day off being depressed, not feeling good enough, feeling like a failure. And so I would see the rejection and immediately go back to bed, because why would I want to be conscious and awake to deal with those feelings, So I did not approach querying in a very healthy way. I've tried to fix it. I don't think I have, but I think I'm also kind of numb to it at this point. Like I'm numb to the rejections. I get a rejection and I just kind of move on. I'm like, okay, that was expected. I don't really care. Like I do care, but it doesn't hit me in the same way 4 years later, Fast forward though, I want to talk about general querying feelings, but fast forward, I am querying my third project. It's What You Mean to Me, my YA romance, Starstruck inspired novel, second chance romance. If you guys watch my writing vlogs, then you know that is the book that I was revising last year, and then I just kind of stopped talking about it, and that's because I started to query it. And I wanted to publish this video. I wanted to film and upload it around the same time that I started to query What You Mean to Me, but that's just not what ended up happening, so I'm doing it now. But I have been querying that for a few months, have not had too much success with it. I did get a full request, which is really exciting, but ultimately it was a rejection. I did just send out a few more queries for it the other day, but I honestly need to sit down and do some further agent research and find more agents to query, because a lot of people on my list are currently closed, which is a whole other problem. I think there's been one agent or a couple of agents who have been closed the entire 4 years I've been querying. I can never find them when they're open, if they've even been open. So that's a whole other issue with finding agents who are open to queries. But yeah, so I just need to sit down and do some more agent research, find more people to query, but that is a whole other beast, and honestly it sucks all of my energy from me. Once I sit down and do some agent research, I've got nothing left in me to do anything else. It sucks all of my energy from me. I'm in a space right now where it's really hard to feel optimistic about publishing and about querying, and please don't comment suggesting that I self-publish. I love self-publishing. I love that that is an avenue that authors take. I respect it. I admire it. It's not something that I want or something that I think that I can do. I don't think I can afford it. I don't really want that full control of everything, and I think that's a lot of reasons why people go to self-publishing, is because they can have control over every aspect, and that's just not something that I'm interested in. I do not want to be in control and responsible for everything about my book. So please just don't comment to self-publish. It's not for me, unfortunately. But it's really hard to feel optimistic about being traditionally published when I've been stuck in the trenches for the last 4 years. It feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It feels really hard to feel like this is something that's going to happen for me. I used to dream about publishing and being an author all the time. I would sit in my bed and just daydream about what it would be like to have a book deal, to see my cover for the first time, to hold my book for the first time, to meet readers and sign books. That is something that I was constantly dreaming of and thinking of, and I just don't really let myself dream about it anymore or think about it anymore. And I don't think it's a super conscious thing. It's just kind of subconscious, like something that I just don't, like my subconscious doesn't let me think about because it hurts too much. Because unfortunately, where I am right now, sometimes it feels like this is never, ever going to happen. And I know I'm not going to give up. I'm not the kind of person to give up on a dream like this. I'm going to keep querying no matter how long I'm in the trenches for. I'm going to keep writing books and keep revising books and keep sending them out there to agents. It's really, really hard. But I don't know. I feel like this is a video that I had to make because I don't like feeling like I'm hiding things from you guys. I don't like filming writing vlogs and be going through something but then not being able to tell you what I'm going through, like just to say, oh, I'm really suffering, my mental health is really bad right now, but not telling you why that is, which I've had to do many, many a times over the last 4 years. It's just vaguely say like, oh, I'm not feeling that great, but not tell you what's going on. And I don't want to do that anymore. I still don't want to like explicitly talk about my querying process all the time. If I feel like it's worth mentioning, maybe I'll mention it, but I just wanted you guys to be aware that this is what's been going on, this is what I'm doing, I am pursuing publication, because it's kind of sucky to, you know, make vlogs for you guys, have you guys be invested in the books that I'm creating and talking about, and then to kind of just revise them to completion, to be query ready, and then just to never mention them again, because they are in the trenches and I'm not talking about querying. So I hated it. I honestly, the last 4 years, I have hated the way that I've approached this and not sharing it online. And while I feel like that was the right decision for me to make at the time, not knowing how difficult querying was going to be, like, I'm glad that I did that. But I think I've now let it go on too long to where I just feel like I'm hiding things and not being completely honest and, you know, open with you guys, which is not how I want my channel to be. I want you guys to feel like I'm being authentic and open with you because that's how I want to be. And this is just one of those things that I've kept close to my chest that I don't want to keep close to my chest anymore. I want you guys to know that when I'm revising a book, the end goal is for it to be queried. And so that's what's been going on with the last 3 books that I've revised and talked to you guys about in numerous vlogs and then just stopped ever talking about them. I hope that What You Mean to Me goes somewhere. I love that book. I'm going to give it its best shot. But, you know, I am working on a new book right now. It's a Valentine's Day YA rom-com, and we're gonna see. I might have to end up querying that one, or I might pivot and try querying something else. I don't know. I have a lot of things to think through. I feel a lot of things in regards to publishing and querying, and it's been extremely difficult, but I'm glad that I'm finally being open and sharing this with you guys, and I could probably talk about this for hours, and I will probably mention it again at some point, give you guys updates, whatever. I might have something in the pipeline writing related that I'm really excited about where I will be yapping your ears off about things. I don't know. But for now, my battery is dying and I do find querying kind of exhausting to talk about. But just know that this is what I've been going through. I'm glad I'm finally telling you guys. And I hope that at some point in the future, I will have a more positive video, a better video, a happier video. But for right now, I'm going through it. I feel better about it now than I did a couple of years ago, mainly because I feel numb to the pain. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, or at least understand what I've been going through for the last few years. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it and want to maybe see more sit-down videos like this talking about publishing and writing. Comment down below and let me know if you guys have queried your books, if you've ever been in the query trenches, what your thoughts are on that, or just let me know what you're up to writing-wise. I'd really love to know. Also, if you've made it to this far in the video, I appreciate you. I love you. Comment down below a pencil emoji to let me know you made it to the end of the video. Subscribe if you've not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!